I just finished watching the Bernie Madoff docuseries on Netflix, and I thought I would share a few lessons that new investors can take away to avoid getting got. Starting with lesson number one, do your due diligence. It's important to research investment companies and the people behind it before handing over your money, even if it's an online brokerage such as Robinhood. Madoff's scheme was able to go on for so long because many of his investors didn't do their due diligence. Lesson number two, diversify investments. The problem with Madoff clients is that they solely invested in his fund because Madoff guaranteed high returns and zero risk. By diversifying investments across different brokerages or managers, it can help reduce the risk of losing all of your money if one brokerage fails or turns out to be fraudulent. Lesson number three, understand the regulatory environment. Familiarize yourself with the laws and regulations that governs that investment, as well as any oversight that it's provided, to include being registered with the SEC and that it's a member of FINRA. And finally, lesson number four, look out for red flags. Be aware of the signs of fraud, such as consistent returns, lack of transparency, and the pressures to invest quickly. Each of these lessons will definitely help you avoid getting got. So last night I watched Madoff the Monster on Wall Street, and by the end of the 4-part documentary series, I was confused, befuddled, alarmed, afraid, scared, and amazed by what this man was able to pull off within 25 to 30 years, which was scamming thousands of individuals out of $19 billion in a large-ass Ponzi scheme. And to sum it up, a Ponzi scheme is when an individual tells a group of investors, hey, I'm going to invest your money, but instead of investing it, what he does is just ping-pong that money back and forth between investors, saying, hey, you're making returns. And if you have common market knowledge, you know that the amount of returns that this man was purporting is mathematically impossible due to how volatile the market is. And this man, with the $19 billion that he had, did not invest one dime in one stock. And there's two main ways that he kept the stock. One, he had fake receipts produced whenever he would tell a customer, I'm doing the transaction. And the customer had to wait 2 to 3 weeks for a receipt, and it would show up on shitty printer paper. On top of that, he had fake computer software so that in office he could prove that, hey, I'm trading with the stock market, but instead it was just fake computer software that was created by his little henchmen. The second main way, the Securities and Exchange Commission was given 5 to 6 tips between 2000 and 2008 that something that this man was doing, something was going awry. And you know what they did with some of those tips? Well, some they did nothing, but some of them, one of them, they called him and pretty much asked him, hey, are you doing something bad? And he said, no, I'm not. And the inquiry was over. And you know why? Because the Securities and Exchange Commission, the government itself trusted Madoff. They thought he was the Wizard of Wall Street. He held all the knowledge about what works best for Wall Street. And they're like, this guy's untouchable. There's no way that he was stealing billions, millions of dollars from vulnerable individuals. He would even use a little bit of reverse psychology. When people pressed him about their money, he'd be like, I hate you guys asking too many questions. You can have your money back. And the people would be like, no, you didn't keep my money. And this Ponzi scheme just was not in the United States, no. It involved Europe too. European banks were selling their customers Bernie Madoff, saying like, this guy never loses money. He always has a return every single month. But people believed him. They were like, I'm just seeing returns, and that's all they see. It was like horse with the blinders on. And ultimately, he was only caught because of the 2008 financial crisis, when people wanted to get their money back and he couldn't even give it to them because he didn't have it. The story is ultimately a tragedy. People lost their life savings, their houses. They were in despair. They lost their retirements, the financial means. But it just goes to show you that if something's too good to be true, especially with your money, it probably